So in a previous video, the one where I put the Starlink up here permanently mounted, I mentioned that I was going to put a deck up here. So this video we're going to talk about the deck. So the first step before I put a deck up here, I wanted to reinforce this a little bit so that it could be weight bearing so I could actually stand up here. So I put some crossbars in, I've kind of framed it all out to get ready for the deck panels. So I ordered aluminum deck panels, so it's aluminum sheet. I ordered it from a company called Cut2Size Metals. They had a pretty fair price, excellent shipping, like nearly next day. And I feel like overall these look pretty good. So this is just a raw metal. I need to still sand this, clean it before I can paint it. So looking at these ones have been sanded and cleaned. I just use alcohol on them to get any oils off. I got one panel left to do, just to talk about it a little bit. The thickness of this is 0.19 inches, which is about 3/16. That's how thick you want it to be for weight bearing. And I use the 6061 T6 alloy. Now, everything's sanded. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this self-etching primer. I got it from Rust-Oleum. It's kind of a green-gray color. I actually kind of like this color a lot. I was a little shocked when I sprayed it on there because it looks really good when it's sprayed. But here the pieces are. They're primed, both sides. Primed with the self-etching primer. This will help make a better bond for whatever you're going to put on it. So the bottom side of this is going to be gray, but the top side is going to be like truck liner. So I've already spray painted the other side gray. Now I'm going to put the truck liner onto the top of this, the walkable surface. This is what I'm going with. I don't know how to say it for sure, but Durabak 18. It's a polyurethane truck bed liner, slip resistant. They send you with your little container of the truck liner, they send you this textured roller. So going to go ahead and put this on. So don't shake it. You have to stir this. It has like solids in it that are suspended. You just want to get it nice and like mixed up by hand. Get it pretty even looking. But you can't get all the solids out. Those solids help add to the texture. Put it on one coat. Looks kind of like popcorn sealing with just one coat down. Went on pretty easy though. Covered pretty nice, like looking pretty good. I'm going to wait until this is dry to the touch. So about 4 hours. You don't want to wait too long. They tell you in the manual, don't wait like a whole day, but this is after 2 coats. It's more like that anti-slip surface around a pool. I feel like at 2 coats, which is exactly what I want. So if I stand up here, I don't want to slip and fall, which this turned out really nice. I'm pretty happy with the way this is and the texture of it. Now before I mount this down, and I don't know if anybody else does things like this, but I'm going to Loctite all the screws holding the frame, and I'm putting little blue marks on every one of them, just so I know which screws I've already seen. I'm just using a blue wax pencil. There's a lot of screws up here, I feel like, making the frame like this with the extruded aluminum. So I wanted to make sure every one of them was marked. Now, as I'm working up here, it is only 72 degrees outside, but it is 118 on top of the van. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because it gets so hot on top of the van up here because it's a dark van that I feel like it transfers to the inside and makes the inside warmer. And this will kind of give it like shade. You can see there's shade over there. Going back here, I put another thermometer underneath the panel, and it's at 86. So a 30-degree difference, That's pretty good. I'm going to Utah pretty soon, right after I get this installed, basically. So I'm hoping to keep the van cooler and not have to use the AC. Now, because I drilled single holes, I'm going to have to like mark out where I need the little sliding nuts to match up. I will probably add more holes to this eventually, maybe put a design in them or something to make it a little more customized, but because I'm time pressed to leave, I'm just doing single holes. I'm using those other bolts to kind of help line it up, but then I'm using black hardware to actually mount it down. You can see I got some new black bolts, and then I have a washer and also a lock washer. Now, whole project is done. Looks pretty good. I went with the lighter color on the roof just to help increase like how much heat I can like reflect away. Couldn't get this measurement much better right there. I got kind of lucky. Just kind of eyeballing it before, but I got pretty close, so that turned out really good. And like I said, went to the Utah desert right after it was installed. So this is in Arches National Park. This was the first campsite. I think it was like 84 degrees outside. Didn't need to run the AC at all, which was pretty shocking. It stayed reasonably cool inside the van. I was able to stand on the roof. So I hadn't been up here yet. This is the first trial. So the first trial of standing happened at Arches. So pretty happy that I was able to stand up there without like really much flex or anything. Nice part of being able to be up here is the views. So this is the view from the campsite. I decided to kneel down a little bit. It's a little awkward standing up. You kind of can wiggle back and forth, but much better angle for looking around the campsite up here. The view from a distance looking at it, I think the van looks pretty good. You can see the lighter roof panels up there. I think they did a really good job rejecting sunlight. You can't really see from the ground that they're lighter, so I don't think it really affects much in that regard, but I don't mind that they're lighter. And you look at the top of most RVs are lighter anyway. It probably is for heat. And as I said, from the ground, you can't even tell. You can see the Starlink, the little white square, just sticking up a little bit in the back, but you can't see the top decking at all. So everything turned out pretty good. For all 4 days in Arches, we didn't run the AC one time, which was nice because we had no power in Arches. Arches campsites don't have power to them, so that was really lucky. It got up to the mid 80s, I think, at the most, though. So that's it for this video. I'm approaching 40,000 miles. I'm like 39,000 now. So next video will probably be like a recap of those 40,000, including this roof rack and the deck, and increased MPG happened. I'll talk about that later. So like and subscribe for more content, and thanks for watching.